Hello, welcome to part 2 of my top 3 in every single category. On Wednesday, we went through base products. I will leave that link down below. But today, we've got the grand finale. We're going to talk eyes, my favorite eyeshadow palettes, lips, anything we didn't talk about on Wednesday. So let's jump in. I've been doing these top 3 videos for a few years now, and it's always fun to compare. And even for this section of the video, I feel like we have some carryover, but also a lot of new stuff to talk about. Maybe the biggest shocker here is going to be eyebrows. So the product I've been using pretty much every single day in my brows for the last few weeks is going to shock you because it shocks me. So I ran out of my eyebrow pencil recently, and a lot of times, I have a pretty big collection. So a lot of times if I run out of something, I'm like, I have a backup. I have something else I could use. I didn't. This is like the one time I'm like, I don't have any other brow pencils, except I had like a triangular tip, but I didn't want to use that. So I found this in the back of my drawer. Yes, this is exactly what you think it is. This is resurrected from 2016, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Just kidding. I've actually purchased this more recently than that. I didn't really like this at first because Dip Brow has a learning curve. It is a challenging product to use, and it's really easy to do too much and just like completely go overboard with this. And I know a lot of us associate this with the 2016 Block Bold Instagram eyebrows, and that's me too. So I feel like for so long I was like, I don't use this type of product anymore. But it's been my go-to lately, and I'm like, I think I might stick with this. I'm not interested in going back to a brow pencil. So I know I'm gonna get questions about how I use it. I use it with the Sigma E65, so it doesn't have to be this exact brush. But, I recommend something that has a point to it like this, kind of an angle. And the key is you wanna get like almost none on the brush. Like you're practically like levitating over top of the product. Like don't get a lot on it, and then just like basically wipe all of that off again and then go through the brows. And I use this to draw brow strokes. So I'm not taking this and like just coloring in. I'm drawing eyebrow hairs. And I have blonde, almost non-existent brows, and I still feel like this just looks really natural, and the wear on this is so good. Okay, I spent way too long talking about that, but I had to explain because I knew if I just said my favorite brow product is Dip Brow, you guys would be like, Kelly, you've just lost all credibility. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I've been going through a Dip Brow phase. So my favorite brow marker, because I also really love brow markers as someone with sparse eyebrows, my favorite one, I'm going to hold this up just to visualize, but this isn't the one. Pretend it is. My favorite one is the Milani Weekend Brow. This, I think, is another really phenomenal drugstore option. It's from NYX. It's called the Lift and Snatch. The only reason I chose the Weekend Brow as the winner here is because it's a little bit more inexpensive, a little bit less expensive, if you will. I do enjoy both. I think they're both great drugstore options. But I really like having some sort of a marker like that to draw the hairs on. And for a brow gel, I didn't like this product at first, but it really grew on me, and it is from REM. This is their clear brow gel, and it's got this really funky applicator to it where one side is this soft, like fuzzy top, and then you flip it over and you have these rubber bristles to comb through the brow. So it's supposed to be like a 2-step process. You apply, you flip, you comb through. And this is like a great long hold brow gel. It works on my fine eyebrows. And I will say though, this guy has like not gone bad, but like it's pretty much used up and like starting to dry out. And I brought this with me. I was out of town over the weekend, and I put this through my eyebrows, and it just looked crusty. Like I could almost see white from this, it looked dried up. So unfortunately, it definitely does dry up, but I've had this for a while and I could tell like I was getting near the bottom. So I need to replace this. Okay, eyeliners. Funny enough, at first I was like, I'm not going to include an eyeliner. I don't have a strong enough opinion on eyeliners. I don't really have a top 3. I don't even wear eyeliner that often. A lot of times if I'm doing any lining, I'm creating that with shadow, which is what I did today. Actually, no. Today I did a combination of both. I used an eyeliner and then a shadow. But anyways, I was kind of going through my collection just like, let me see. Maybe I have 3 I could pick. And then these 3 were just like screaming at me, and I'm like, wait, I actually do have 3 eyeliners that I use all the time that are top favorites. So 2 that you hear me talk about all these a lot. So let's talk about the one in my waterline. This has been my favorite for years. I can't, like, nothing will replace this. And funny enough, I've had this same one for years. And yeah, it's getting down there, but like I still have a lot. So this is from Koki. It's the shade Gilded Gold. I have it in my waterline today. It's not necessarily like the most long wearing eyeliner, especially in the waterline, but it's like the color of this. It's Gilded Gold in particular. It makes your eyes pop, and because it's a metallic eyeliner, I feel like it makes them twinkle because it like bounces the light. I love this, and I don't always like eyeliner in my waterline, but this one I do. But these two from Nabla I've had forever, and I still love them. Like, I remember getting these when I was living in my Detroit apartment years ago. These are the Cupid's Arrow pencils, and they're kind of like these thick crayons. Like, you might see this and think that's an eyeshadow, like a cream eyeshadow. Maybe you could, but these are eyeliners. So I'm mentioning both. If you want me to choose one favorite, it's the brown, but I do also love the purple. The purple is shade 3 and the brown is shade 2. So these are incredibly creamy and emollient. You can either draw this directly onto the skin, or you can actually pick it up really easy with an eyeliner brush. I love that about these, because a lot of eyeliners you can't just pick up on a brush like that. I find that I get way more precision in my application if I'm applying it with a liner brush versus like trying to take an actual eyeliner and draw it on the skin. You can't, that's harder to do, to make like a nice wing. These pick up so well, they blend out, but like once they set, I do feel like they stay. If they don't like fully set down though, if you want it to be completely transfer proof, smudge proof, I would put a shadow over top, but I just really appreciate the like flexibility that these give me. They make applying eyeliner, especially like creating a wing, so easy. This one is maybe not as easy, but it's the color, okay? So this is the Fenty Fly Liner. I have the brown shade, which is called In Big Truffle. They do also make this in a black. The black one, I don't know. It's not that this is the best eyeliner, the best applicator, the best formula. That's all whatever to me. It's the shade. Because finding a brown that is truly brown and not just like a lighter shade of black is almost impossible. But this is like the most beautiful brown. It has some warmth to it, so I find that it makes my eye color pop. Also, it's incredibly high pigment, so you don't have to worry about skipping. And this doesn't budge. I've heard people say the black shade does though, which is interesting to me. I haven't tried the black shade, but the brown one, this does not move. Like, sometimes to a fault. Like when I'm trying to draw my wing, if I kind of mess it up, this is really not a formula that you can take and just kind of clean up. No, it's like where you apply it, it's going to stay. That's why I say it's less user-friendly, but I wear it so frequently, I love the color. Okay, now that we have the unfun categories out of the way, let's talk about the more exciting things. I mean, actually eyebrows are fun, I guess. Eyeliner's fun, I guess, but not as fun as single eyeshadows. Okay, at first I was like, do I have 3 single shadows that are shouting out to me like these are my best singles? I was kind of like, I don't know about that. But then I started going through my drawer with my little bucket of singles, and I was like, wait, these 3 I feel like I talk about a lot. So first, this one from Jones Road has been a huge favorite of mine this year. This is the shade So Pretty. In the pan, it actually blends right in with these pictures in the backgrounds. It doesn't look like much in the pan. In the swatch, it's gorgeous. This is the most beautiful topper shade. If you like a glitter top coat, this is it. The shade is called So Pretty. I think I just said that, but I think the name is so appropriate because the very first time I ever applied this, I put it on and I said, oh, so pretty, because it is. It looks like silvery here, and it does have that silvery undertone to it, but it's more so just like those sparkles on the top. It's gorgeous. You can wear it on its own, or it's a great topper if you already have some sparkles on the lid and you want to amplify it. This is what I recommend. I would describe it almost as a more amped up version of this, which is like my original love. This always ends up in the video, you know, Urban Decay Space Cowboy. And I've been loving Space Cowboy for years. I feel like it was viral a long time ago, and then it had its resurgence last year. I've always been a Space Cowboy girly. I just think this is the most beautiful topper shade. It almost looks a bit wet. You can take it and just tap it on for a more scattered, sparkly look. Or, if you swipe it on and layer it up, you can really get that intensity from it. Sometimes I wear it on its own. Sometimes I wear it as a topper. I love Space Cowboy. The difference though, Space Cowboy almost feels like, where is this? It's in my chair behind me. Okay. Space Cowboy almost feels like baked in the pan, whereas this feels more like a powder shadow, But what I have on my eyes today is from Hourglass. Now this is pricey. Do I think you can find an alternative that will provide a similar beautiful look that's not this expensive? Sure, yes. But if you want to splurge, these are great. This is the Hourglass Scattered Light Eyeshadow, specifically in the shade Smoke. So in my crease, I have a little bit of a brown shadow, and then on the inner portion of my eye, I did add like a lighter sparkle there. If you're wondering, the palette I'm using is the Angela Bright Sigma collab. I'm loving it. But this provides such an intense sparkle look. And you know, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of more in my matte phase these days. A lot of my eyeshadow looks I've been wearing lately are just all matte. I haven't really been reaching for sparkles as much, which is funny because the three I'm mentioning right now are all sparkles. But when I'm wanting a glittery look, like this is it. This is the type of shadow that it's expensive, but it looks expensive on the eye, if you know what I mean. Like this is luxe on the eye. The way it captures the light, the way the sparkles reflect, like it's an incredible formula. Okay, mascara. I don't know what happened to me, but I have become a 2 mascara wearer. And I would hear people over the years saying, you know, you need 2 mascaras. You need a lengthening and a volumizing. And I was always like, that's too much work. I'm not going to do that. But let me tell you, ever since I started using 2, I have never gotten so many compliments on my eyelashes, both from subscribers, but also in real life. People are like, wow, your lashes are incredible. Yeah, it's because I'm doing 2 mascaras, volumizing and then lengthening. So the lengthening one that I have fallen so deeply in love with, that's like $6, is this one from e.l.f. I've been talking about it a lot, so we won't spend too long, but it's the Lash and Roll. This is my second mascara today. The first one I have on is the volumizing mascara from Ilia. I like it. It's not like the most amazing ever. You don't need to spend that much, but I think it's good as a step one. And then I take this over top. This has the most perfect wand for separating, and it also is curved, so I feel like it pushes up my eyelashes a bit, gives them a little bit of a curl, even if I'm not going in with a curler. The other 2 I want to talk about, I don't have at the moment because, you know, mascaras don't last as long, but I have used these up. The first one is the KELLYG Come Hell or High Water Mascara. Okay, talk about volume plus length plus like it's a tubing mascara, so it stays. I love that one. I used up a mini. I have a full size like waiting on deck. And I was even thinking the other day, I was like, I have a few mascaras open right now, but I kind of want to open the KELLYG one. And I'm telling myself, I'm like, Kelly, wait, no, don't do it yet. Use what you have and then open that one. But like, that's how good it is. I'm like, should I just open it anyways? And I'm trying to withstand that pressure. And the other one that I also have a backup of, that I'm also telling myself, don't open that yet. You need to use what you have. Don't let these mascaras go bad. It is the Lottie London Super Fake Mascara. Now, here's the thing. For that one, you've gotta love volume and you have to be willing to accept some potential clumping, okay? That's the mascara if you're like, I want volume at all costs. I don't care if we're getting a little bit into spider territory. You're gonna like that one. But my tip is have an eyelash separator nearby and not a spoolie. A spoolie, in my experience, doesn't really separate your eyelashes like that. Like, I've seen people recommend a spoolie. Every time I try it, weirdly, trying to put a spoolie through my lashes, it's like causing me to clump them up more. No, you need an eyelash separator. It's different. It's like metal. It like combs through them like a brush. Eyelash separator plus that mascara, you're going to have the best lashes of your life. Like, actually, if you want the best lashes of your life at the drugstore, step 1, Lottie London Super Fake. Step 2, eyelash comb. Step 3, e.l.f. Lash and Roll. Done. I do have palettes too, but let's talk about lips. Let's talk about lips. We'll get to palettes. We'll talk about my favorite thing in the world, which is lip liner. Funny enough, I didn't like these lip liners at first, and I'm actually counting these together as one of the 3, because I always use them together. They're the same formula from the same brand. They're just 2 different shades. But funny enough, I cheated because the next 2, lip liner number 2 and lip liner number 3, are also the same formula from the same brand, but different colors. I know that logic doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm going with. So these are from Persona. I didn't like these lip liners at first. I gave these bad reviews, and I still don't think this is my favorite formula, if I'm being honest, but it's the colors. I have worn these almost every single day lately. When I'm filming, I tend to switch it up a bit more. Today I'm wearing a lip liner from e.l.f. It's one of the triangular ones, but if you were to see me out and about in my everyday life, I can guarantee you I was wearing both of these. If you were to look in my purse, if I was out and about and you were like, Kelly, what lipsticks are in your purse? It would be these. So it is the shade Almond and Rosewood because I wear them together. So Almond is like lining step 1. And then you take a little bit of rosewood because it's a little bit deeper. And rosewood just goes in the center, just on the bottom, just on the top, maybe kind of like lightly feather over the sides, because I know, hot take, I like a defined lip liner look. Sometimes for me, that's the look. I don't necessarily want it to be blended in. I don't necessarily want it to match. I want the lip liner to be darker. Like, I love the 90s. I don't know. I think that's a beautiful effect. And if you're looking for that, I think rosewood is nice to achieve that if you have more of a light or medium skin tone. Otherwise, if you have a medium skin tone, I think rosewood would probably make a really nice nude. And then 2 from NYX, obviously. If you watched, I just posted my full drugstore makeup collection. Oh my gosh, it took me days to film that. That video is an hour and a half. That's the longest video I've ever posted on my channel ever, by far. But in that video, you saw me swatching all my NYX lip liners. And when I was going through them for this, I was like, who comes out on top? What's it gonna be? And I decided on Nude Truffle, which you can tell, it is like way shorter because I use it so much. This, on my skin tone, it's kind of more of a medium nude, but I would say if you're more of a medium skin tone, it actually might be like a great everyday nude for you. It has this like neutral to cool undertone to it, perfect. And then I have a deeper option, which is Nutmeg. It's kind of a brown. Nutmeg, I don't even wear as much on its own. Again, sometimes I like to layer these. I like to start with a lighter nude and then a deeper nude. But Nutmeg is also really pretty if you want to do a brown lip and put like a brown gloss over top. It's gorgeous. Okay, lip products. I did something a little weird here. I was like, am I going to do all the categories? Am I going to do a best lip oil, best lip gloss, best lip stain, best lipstick, best liquid lipstick? No, because I want this video to be as helpful as possible. I don't want to just be like, these are products that are good. No, I want you to know these are the best of the best. These are my top 3 that I reach for the most. So I just said 3 lip products besides lip liners because you knew I had to do a whole category of lip liners. So I picked 3 lip products, and what it ended up being, we've got a lip stain, we've got a lip gloss, and shocking to me is a liquid lipstick. But first I want to do an honorable mention because these are the 2 that I actually wear almost every single day. So I'm taking those Persona lip liners and then I'm putting these over top. But these are both discontinued. So I was like, that's why they're going to be honorable mention. I'll give you 3 that are actually available, but it's Becca, RIP. This is the shade Dune. It is like the perfect, very warm nude. And then this is the old formula from Urban Decay of the Stay Naked lipsticks, or not Stay Naked, no. This shade is called Stark Naked, but these were the old Vice lipsticks. Look how little this is. I will keep this until it's gone. And like, this is a lipstick I will genuinely use up one day, but these are my most used. They're like beautiful nudes. This one's a little more neutral to cool. This one is much warmer. But the 3 winners, I might surprise you with this. I actually think I'm gonna surprise you with this. A lot of these throughout the video, if you watch me a lot, you might have been guessing like, yeah, predictable. Not this. Maybe it is, I don't know. This is from Kaja. This is their lip stain. Specifically, the shade is called Mocha Glazed. I had a look, because it doesn't say on here. But these, when they launched them, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. It's more so cutesy. They call this the Jelly Charm Glazed Lip Stain, because it also came with the charm that I have since taken off. But no, it's a great formula. That's the thing. A lot of Kosas products are so cute that in my head, I'm like expecting it to be more of a gimmick and that I'm expecting the formula to let me down, but it never does. It never does. I love Kosas. Did I say Kosas? I meant to say Kaja. But this, it looks so intense and vibrant here, but on the lips, you can get it to this color, but I find that the stain that it leaves behind is like the perfect brownie nude, which I love. So sometimes I'll wear this just on its own. Sometimes I'll wear this as a base when I want my other lip products to last all day. And sometimes I'll wear this as a lip liner when I want to guarantee my lip liner isn't going to fade. So I love this. I have 2 of this same shade because I don't want to be without it. Next, I have NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in London. An oldie but a goodie. Like if you've been around watching beauty YouTube for years, I'm sure you're very familiar with London. It is like the perfect center of the lip shade. This with a deeper lip liner, gorgeous. It's comfortable, soft matte is appropriate. Like I think that name is very fitting. And my other favorite, this surprised me because when these launched, I didn't really love them, but I've really come around to the Fenty Gloss Bombs. And when they launched the shade Fussy, I was like, okay, maybe this is what I needed. Maybe the original shade wasn't for me, but Fussy, it's beautiful. And I've seen this gloss look good on pretty much everyone. Like Fussy is like that universal shade. Everyone looks pretty in this. It's pink. It's got a little bit of sparkle to it, but it's not too pink. It looks good with almost any lip liner. It's beautiful on its own. It's beautiful topped over something. It's glossy. It's like kind of hydrating. Is it a super hyped up product? Yes, but it's worthy of the hype for sure. And now I've kept you waiting long enough on palettes. Let's talk about the one that you can guess. Actually, I will say, the one you're probably thinking, she's gonna say Persona Identity. Almost, but I didn't. Are you surprised? I'm surprised. But the one that is not surprising is this from Milani. I know. You're like, Kelly, enough about this palette. You talk about it in every video. And I'm trying to stop, but I just can't because I really use it that much. It is the Milani Gilded Mini in Whiskey Business. Like, I have dips in a lot of these shades, and I haven't even had this that long. I'm reaching for it constantly because I love a matte eye look. You wouldn't know today, but I love a warm matte look, so I just think this is so perfect for achieving that. Also, this one might surprise you too, because this surprised me. I was like, am I really gonna pick that one? ColourPop Bare Necessities. I'm just as shocked as you are, but I have been reaching into this almost every single day since I got it. And I got this in the Charleston trip. We did like a masterclass with ColourPop, and this was the palette that we used to follow along with the tutorial. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know that I'm going to use this. It's a giant palette. That's not normally my vibe. Maybe it is now. I don't know, because I can't stop using Bare Necessities. These shimmers are so beautiful. The mattes blend out well. I have created like every type of look with this. A little more purple, a little more neutral, a little more cool tone, a little more warm. If you're like, Kelly, I just want to have one eyeshadow palette, just one. Which one? I would recommend this one. And then the third one was really hard for me to pick. It was very, very hard. I went back and forth on a bunch. I'm sorry to say these are all neutral. There's really no color in there. That just hasn't been my preference as much these days. And you know what? I'm not gonna apologize for that. I love neutral looks, and I'm not afraid to say it. And so that's why we're gonna talk about the Sigma Ambiance palette. This is not new, but I love it. It is also warm. I love a warm eye, but this is warm in a way that's not too orange pulling, you know? It's like a bronze warmth. So you can do an all matte look if you want. The shimmers are incredible. I would say my only qualm with this palette is I would have swapped out one of these two browns. They're slightly different in undertone, but not enough to justify both because the depth is too similar. I think one of them needed to be swapped out for either a black or a much deeper brown. Other than that, it's perfect and I love it. That was the top 3 in every single category. If you missed part 1, I will leave it linked down below. I will also link all of the products. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Monday for my next video. Bye.